Famous dictators, presidents, and rulers of different epochs simply adored luxurious furniture, household items, and personal items made of noble metals and precious stones. I was particularly struck by the fact that some jewelry items were of considerable size, impractical, and often simply absurd. Of course, it is not forbidden to live beautifully, and gold attributes, of course, became for those in power a special symbol and embodiment of their power and absolute permissiveness. Incredible luxury, not always made with taste, and a sense of proportion, flattered the ego of famous rulers. Remember the richest palaces of the head of Libya, Muammar Gaddafi. In addition to a mad love of precious weapons, he surrounded himself with rather strange interior items. One sofa in the form of a mermaid made of pure gold was worth nothing. For some reason, the sea nymph was depicted with the face of Gaddafi's own daughter, whose name was Aisha. What to speak of such trifles as dishes or jewelry fly swatter, if the interior of the dictator's private plane was distinguished by silver trim? The income of the supreme Bedouin of the country was estimated at $200 billion. Another major rich man of the world was considered the deposed leader of Iraq. A lover of fabulous luxury and ostentatious grandeur, Saddam Hussein. The subjects who once obeyed him robbed the ruler's yachts and huge villas with delight. Thus, the walls in the bedrooms, which numbered not dozens but hundreds of rooms, were decorated with real jewels. Inlaid with expensive stones gave the apartments royal splendor, and there was no number of interior items made of shining gold. Even plumbing in the palaces was allowed only in gold, if the head of state was to sit on a golden toilet. When the Iraqi leader turned 53, he decided to celebrate his birthday in style and went on a royal voyage through the streets of Baghdad in a gilded luxury carriage pulled by two triplets of beautiful horses. Hussein would not be Hussein if he did not have a personal throne of noble gold in his palace. It is understandable. If there is a real carriage, then to get a throne, as they say, the very God commanded. But you don't have to go far for the adherence of expensive attributes. It is only worth paying attention to the golden irrepressible appetites of former President Viktor Yanukovych. It was in his spacious residence that an impressive collection of real gold money appropriations was discovered. However, a greater furor was caused by a product of the bakery industry not quite clear in its purpose, but not of wheat, but exclusively of fine gold. A version emerged that the precious loaf was a valuable gift to Yanukovych from one of the influential businessmen. The latter, in turn, denied the fact that he had given the jeweled loaf to the first person of the country, and then they began to say that it was not gold at all, but a product made of ordinary papier-mâché covered with a shining top layer. Of course, the bar is not comparable to an airplane, a sofa, or, at the worst, a toilet. But it's also an interesting acquisition. It is a pity that a couple of semi-precious stones are missing, then everything would be in the best traditions of the powerful.